this will drive the AI stock market until about June 24. We have Nvidia earnings today, which everyone's going to be watching. Everyone's going to be poring over. Everyone's going to be using AI to break down 13 different facts from the call and from the report. All eyes are on Nvidia. Even before that, we have the Fed releasing the Fed minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's going to be garnering some attention as well, with everyone wondering, well, is there any chance that the Fed's going to cut rates, or how likely are they to actually raise rates? Everyone will be paying attention to this as well. So let's break down what you need to know going into the Nvidia earnings. We'll look at some of the most important things to know going in, expectations, guidance, and we're going to break it down really simply for you. We'll look at the market as well. We have some news of layoffs. Some companies that are reportedly laying off thousands and thousands of workers due to AI. And yeah, there's some things that we should just talk about going into the earnings. If you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos just like that. Also, real quick, I haven't ever mentioned a sponsor on this channel, but I work with this company called Yubit. It's a stock trading platform. Well, it's a crypto trading platform that's non-KYC, and you can also trade stocks on it. I just opened up a couple positions going into the Nvidia earnings, smaller positions for me, but you can see pretty cool. You can trade using leverage with Nvidia and MU, so similar to options, but I think they're actually a little bit simpler to understand. And the cool thing about this is they're perpetual. So unlike options where there's some date that you have to, there's a strike on, like there's some date, whether it's next week or next month or something, where it has to be above that price during that certain time period or below it. This allows you to just trade based on no time frame. So I opened up a position with $244 or $243 in margin, and I got a 5x leverage position on that. So I was able to buy about $1,227 worth of Nvidia, and yeah, I'm up 6% on it so far. MU, I did something similar just with a 2x position. So pretty cool. You use USDT, which is like crypto's dollar, to do this. If you want to check this out, there's a link to it underneath the video. No pressure at all, though. Obviously, there is some risk having crypto and crypto on an exchange, but a different way of trading that's pretty cool if you want to check it out. Now, let's look at the stock market. It's a little bit back and forth, to be honest. We opened up green, then we dumped, then we came back up. Now we're falling back down. Everyone's just a little bit cautious, I think, ahead of the Nvidia earnings. MU earlier was up 3%, now just up 2%. Nvidia was up a couple percent earlier as well. AMD up 6.3% on the day, and my largest stock holding, Amazon, up about 0.5%. So everyone's keeping their eyes on Nvidia going into the earnings, which we'll break down in a second, but I wanted to cover this real quick. We have more companies reportedly laying off workers. We have Intuit reportedly laying off 3,000 workers, 17% of their workforce. That's a huge amount. Meta is cutting 8,000 people, which, keep in mind, Meta's workers are quite highly paid. Unlike Amazon, where they have 1.6 million workers, and a lot of them are warehouse workers, lower paid workers. We have Meta at only 80,000 workers, 79,000 workers. So they're laying off over 10% of their workforce. We also heard that they're using AI to track computer movements of their workers. So they're using AI to replace their workers in real time. They're learning from the workers. They're still there. And yeah, the fact is they actually have a lower employee count than they did they will have a lower employee count than they had in 2021. Their peak was in 2022. Keep in mind, back in that time period, their revenue was $116 billion. Now their revenue is almost double that. Amazon, their revenue is up about 50% over that time frame, and their workers have gone down as well. So yeah, the world's becoming much more efficient with AI, and that's really helping some of these companies. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where this goes just a year down the line. How many more layoffs are there going to be? I'd be cautious if I was at any of these big AI companies. I would make sure that I have an emergency fund. I would make sure that I have, some money set aside for a rainy day, and hopefully I'm investing as well. I know that Meta was giving out some pretty good comp packages or severance packages for the people that got laid off. Now, I asked Claude, this is the $200 a month level. I said, okay, give me a graphic that shows what we should know about Nvidia going into earnings today. Make sure it's the most up-to-date too on expectations, guidance, that kind of thing. But something that's really easy for people to understand. Okay, now after it's done, let's look at the TLDR, right? So Wall Street is looking for about $78.8 billion in revenue with $1.77 non-GAAP EPS after the close. Roughly 78% year-over-year revenue growth and 120% year-over-year earnings per share growth, with data center alone projected at $73 billion, 93% of revenue, and non-GAAP gross margin at 75%. Keep in mind, they have higher expectations. Like the whisper number, what people are really expecting is higher. It's closer to 80 to 81 billion in revenue with a guide of 87 to 90 billion. Historically, Nvidia has beaten by 3 to 4%. I would not be surprised if they beat this number. I think the market is hoping they do, and I think there is a large there's a large amount of options obviously on Nvidia right now, and the implied volatility, the implied move is 7 to 9%. So it's up 19% year to date. And 13.7% since the last time that they announced earnings, but it's fallen on 4 of the last 5 revenue beats. So Q2 guidance versus the 86 billion matters far more, they say, than the Q1 headline. So 3 swing factors dominate: Blackwell Ultra ramp, the GB300, and early Rubin signals. Production shipments slated for the second half of next year of 2027, and China H200 licenses granted, but 0 revenue was recognized. Keep in mind, there was that news last week that China could start buying Nvidia chips, and then the news came out like a day or two later that they weren't buying any Nvidia chips, so them speaking on that will be huge. The durability of the $725 billion in 2026 hyperscaler capex will also be something. Like, will Nvidia say that they continue to see higher and higher commitments moving forward, or do they think it's going to start to slow down a little bit? So this is going to be really interesting. There's going to be a lot of volatility after the earnings, and then obviously when the market opens tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of volatility as well. Right now, the market seems to be doing fairly well going into the earnings, but we have fallen the last 2 or 3 days. Now we also have the Fed with their Fed minutes coming out at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so maybe a little bit of volatility around then as well. I might make a video after Nvidia earnings. Let me know if you want that down below in the comment section. I really appreciate it. I hope this gets you ready for the earnings and kind of gives you an update on what's happening today. And the reason I say that this will drive the market until June, that is when I can find the next big earnings report, which is Micron. Micron is slated for earnings in late June. So this could drive the AI market for the next month, basically. Obviously, there are going to be other factors at play, like what Trump says about Iran and the war there, what happens with oil, what happens, in other interviews, what happens with Claude updates and that kind of thing. I'm sure there will be lots of updates between now and late June, but that's the next major earnings that I could find. Let me know your thoughts underneath the video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Again, you can check out Yubit if you want, but no big deal if you don't. Bye. Just a reminder, this is not financial advice. This is not legal advice. Do your own research. I'm never going to reach out to you either in the comment section or through any other means to try to get you to invest in something that I'm investing in or to send me crypto. Some links underneath the video are affiliate links. I may earn a commission, but this is at no extra cost to you. Of course, do your own due diligence.